resources. But if it's to survive, it's not celebrity support it needs, it's money, and it needs it now.
Getting the support and people saying, I think you're doing great work, which is really good to have and for people to hear that. But it needs to sort of materialise into funding. I think that's what the Trust is lacking at the moment. Support around the Trust is really great, but funding is not so great at the moment.
It's just over a week since Doreen Lawrence emerged victorious from the Old Bailey after seeing two men convicted of her son's murder. Almost everyone is familiar with Stephen's story. He was attacked by a gang of racist white youths as he waited for a bus in Eltham. The fight for justice took 18 long years. What people don't know is the campaign has now switched from his murder to his legacy. Until now, all the focus and attention has been on the criminal neglect of the Stephen Lawrence story. Now that's switched to the financial neglect of the charitable trust.
For the past 4 or 5 years, we've been getting support from the LDA and financially, but as that dwindles, we have not been getting as much funding as we'd like. And so as the time gone on, the programmes and still that we want to run is still essential, and we're trying our very best to do that, but we just haven't got the funds and you know, so that we can carry on that work.
The impressive building offers support in subjects as diverse as computer skills to art and psychotherapy for teenagers. But the Trust's core work is in the subject Stephen hoped to follow as a career. It's awarded almost 100 bursaries in architecture and helped 8 students qualify. But it's not all about budding architects. Carol Barnes-Aleksander benefited from the centre's job club.
They've got very sort of state-of-the-art computers. They're very up-to-date computers. And because so many other places are actually closing down because of funding issues, it's a really good place to go.
What our legacy is a legacy of hope, where we're able to take the memory of Stephen, wedge open the door of opportunity for others, so people who have dedication, people who are diligent, people who have ambition, we can help them realise their potential.
We have the AV suites.
The Trust is currently doing its best to drive down costs. There are plans for a business centre and other initiatives, and eventually it should be able to sustain itself. Until then, it's hoping companies and individuals will transform the support they showed after the verdicts into much-needed donations.
The legacy of Stephen really needs to continue, and young people are benefiting so much from the work that we're doing here.
Ronke, she's such an admirable woman, isn't she? And there she is, just fighting to keep her son's memory alive.
She certainly is. I mean, last week we saw everyone offering their support. There were celebrities, there were politicians. Their Twitter feed, let's be modern, went from hundreds into the thousands. But that's just not translating into money, and what they need is hard cash.
So why are they suddenly so strapped for cash?
Well, they had 3 funding streams. They had the LDA, they had the Arts Council, and they had the Millennium Commission. That's either dried up or it's coming to an end in March. And it really would be a travesty if they didn't get the money they needed. I mean, as you saw, I was in that building today, and it isn't just used all for architects. When I was there today, there was a group of young children who had learning disabilities out in the gardens. There were some young offenders inside the building using the facilities. It's there for everyone, and it really would be a travesty if it wasn't there for the future. And of course, it's there to keep Stephen's legacy, Stephen's memory alive.
Indeed. Ronke, thank you very much indeed. Well, Ronke's full interview with Doreen Lawrence is on our website, itv.com/London.